Alright, YouTube, it's me, David Harry, your favourite vlogger and YouTuber. Right, what I'm going to do in this video is give you an example of using the RODE VideoMic GO II with the Hero 11 here, and also using the WS12 dead cat. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop outdoors, do this stuff and let you have a good listen to it. Now, there is one thing though, in this video I started tooling around with ProTune and going the flat colour profile and all the rest of it. Now, regardless of what I say in the video, my intention was to start flipping in between, like, you know, the normal flat picture that you get, and then doing a bit of a grade on it and stuff like that. However, once I got back indoors and started looking at the footage, it was just going to take me too long, because it's not like you can just use one setting to kind of like wash over the entire thing. So you do really have to go in and kind of like go into each kind of scene, as it were, because there's differences in, like, you know, shadow detail and stuff like that. So I ended up just crushing everything as I started fooling around with the picture. So basically none of that. I've actually just left it in its flat mode, and to be honest, I don't think it looks that bad, with a little bit more messing around and stuff like that to do with maybe the EV and things like that, or maybe something else slightly manual to do with the exposure. Maybe shooting in the flat mode is the way to do all this stuff. Anywho, let me get into this and give you the example of the RODE VideoMic GO II with the Hero 11 Black and the WS12. Okay, so I'm just going to walk up to the park now on the Bridle Path, which is where I normally walk, but I didn't do it yesterday because it was raining so much. But hopefully I don't get covered in a load of crap here, because there will still be a whole bunch of mud from yesterday. Anyways, like I say, I've locked off these settings and stuff, and right now it is quite shady, so I'm not going to go into all the settings right now. I'll throw these down into the description below, but basically I've limited my ISO to go no more than 400, so lowest 100, highest 400, and that is absolutely way too much anyway for when I'm in the bright areas. But the thing is, I can't keep stopping and changing the high part of where the ISO range is going to go to, because if I do that, it's not really then a convenient vlog, is it? So anyways, at 400, where it definitely will go up to, as far as as far as the exposure is concerned, it might look a bit darker, but I doubt it, because in that instance, because I've also got the shutter on auto, it's going to drop the shutter down to compensate for that as well, to try and get it to balance on the automatic exposure. Anyways, like I said, I'm not really going to be talking about all this stuff the way I've set up the camera. This is all to do with the microphone and what have you. Now, there is a little bit of a breeze going on, but I've got the dead cat on, so yes, no problems with this slight breeze. Actually, my eyes watering a little bit because it's so breezy. Anyways, no, it's not. I've just got a problem with my eye. It won't stop watering. Anyway, so I'm in total shade once again here. So once again, this gives us a little test for the picture on the GoPro and what have you. And last thing as well, before I keep mentioning it when I said I wouldn't do about the settings, I will already have probably have said that at certain points during this little walkthrough, what I'll do, I'll kind of switch it off and on, whatever it is that I'm doing in post. And that's if I did do anything in post. I may have just liked the look of the flat color profile anyways, which I have done on previous GoPros. So
can I squeeze past you there?
Oh, sorry buddy. Sorry mate. Sorry buddy. Yeah, as I was saying here, quite often I would have left it on the flat profile anyway, because on certain GoPros it was actually fine to do that. However, I don't know if I'm going to do that now, so no more jabbering on about the settings like I said I wasn't going to do, which is why I front loaded it with I'll have all the settings in the description below. Okay, so I'm coming into one of the fields here in the park, and there's a big piece here where there's a ton of sun, so I'm about to come out of the shadow of some trees here and then go right into a load of sunlight. Let's see what's going on with this now. So what I'm going to do here is just walk within this like nice sunny area, just so we can get an idea of what's going on with the exposure and stuff, and more importantly how well it's going to be exposing for me. Now, I've got to be dead honest, what I've done here, I've done that tap to screen thing and basically told it to look into the center of the screen where I'm going to be. And I think really, you know, if you've got to intervene ever so slightly like that in order to get the best exposure for yourself doing this selfie angle, I don't think that's probably too much to ask for. I mean, of course we would all love for the GoPros to be just like some of the smartphones, where like, you know, you just go for it and they just seem to get the best exposure for you, and like they're really clever at doing it. And I have to say, that Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 thing that I've got, that does that. It is really, really good. So like when you're in the frame and whatnot, it definitely exposes more for you. Now the thing is, it will do it at the expense of like blowing out certain other things in the frame. However, when it's a vlog piece, you do want yourself to be exposed and like not to be going like underexposed while it's doing a really nice exposure of the background. But anyways, yeah, this is one thing that I don't really dig about any of the GoPros. They don't seem to be able to hold their exposure well for the subject. I would have thought by now that GoPro would have done some kind of a face track thing, given that GoPro know that there's like tons of people that use these things, you know, for vlogging and stuff. So why they haven't done that yet, you know, give that function for it to like, you know, go for exposure on a face and stuff like that, I don't know. But anyway, and nonetheless, I've given this like, you know, the best kind of opportunity to take the exposure from the center of the frame, which is roughly where it should be. Anyways, what I'm going to do here is just turn around, get that sun behind me. So right, as we can see, sun right behind me or thereabouts. Now what I'm going to do is just drop the GoPro into my own shadow. So hopefully that's going to assist it a little bit, and then I'll pull it out of my shadow. Let's see what it's doing there. Is that just exposing for the background and compensating for all that dead bright sun? Who knows? Well, you know, I don't know just yet. Anyways, it is a little bit breezy, but once again, I've got the dead cat on, so this should be all good. Anyways, what I'm going to do is get myself into little bits of shade over here and do a cardioid pattern test. Okay, so now for a polar pattern response test. I just said a cardioid pattern test thing, which technically is still true because it is a type of cardioid. However, the focus pattern on this is probably more like a super cardioid because it is a shotgun, this one. So what I'm going to do is just start turning around. Oh, actually, I am on axis right now, so 0 degrees. So what I'm going to do is turn it to one side there. Now I should have dropped off a little bit and stuff like that. We'll definitely hear me because I'm really close to the microphone, and we will definitely hear what's that way there as well. Now what I'm going to do is come from behind the microphone, and what we should have noticed there is that maybe there was a slight tonal change. Also, I might have gotten a little bit louder possibly from behind, and the reason for that is because with this being a true shotgun, it has the effect of a real lobe characteristic, which is basically like another small cardioid pattern behind the microphone. And then that there is the other 90-degree axis there. So I've gone through one minus 90-degree axis through to 180 degrees when it was directly away from me, and now I'm onto the other minus 90-degree axis, and then I bring it right back down to myself, or back around to myself. Speak properly, David. And this should be the loudest that this microphone is going to pick me up. And just quickly, whilst we're at it, here is an example of the internal microphones on the GoPro Hero 11 Black, just to give you an idea of what the difference is between the internal mics and also the microphone that I'm using here, which I just momentarily forgot because I've come out with another Rode microphone. This is the RODE VideoMic GO II, but not right now. This is the internal microphones. So I'm just going to do a very quick pattern test here. I'll just rotate it constantly as I'm talking, and then that should give us an idea of exactly what the internal microphones are going to be doing by comparison to the RODE VideoMic GO II. Okay, so my usual stupidity now, trying to record my voice against a load of traffic. So here we go. Load of traffic is now going by. So obviously right now the traffic is actually in front of the microphone as well as my voice, but hopefully it's going to be all good for my voice because I'm the loudest thing to the microphone right now. Okay, so now that thing where I stand on the corner of a busy dual carriageway looking like a complete tool. So right now the traffic is behind the microphone, so the microphone should be picking me up more than the traffic. Now I'm going to turn around, and hopefully we are now picking the traffic up a bit more than me. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little walk here through another dark area. Let's see what goes on with the exposure and stuff, and then what I'm going to do is go and find somewhere to go and sit down, because today the seats won't be all wet and stuff yet. So I'll do a little bit of a like sit down kind of talky piece there just to end the video. But right now I'm going through a lot of shaded area. In fact, this is one of the darkest areas that I come into the park in order for tests for low light and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, I'm nearly at the darkest point here, I think. Okay, I mean, I could actually go traipsing through all the trees and stuff like that, but the only problem is I got shorts on, and I did that about 2 years ago and actually got bit by one of those, like, you know, those tick things, you know, those things that latch onto you and suck your blood out and all that. And I don't know if I got anything off it, because I was quite unwell at the time when that happened. So I do think I did get a little bit of a kickback off that tick. I don't know whether I got Lyme disease or anything, because it's difficult to tell with me, because I'm dead lazy anyway, so I do love to sleep and stuff. Although saying that, I have like stupid hours, because I actually work through the night, as some of my YouTube buddies like Tone from Tone's Adventures HD would have probably have guessed by now, because me and Tone do a lot of talking in the middle of the night. Well, middle of the night for me, not for Tone, when we're doing stuff like responding to each other's videos. And I bet you Tone must be sitting there going, is that Dave really in America? Because he always seems to be up at the same time that I am. Anyways, no, Tone, it's not that. I just work dead late into the night and stuff like that. Anyways, that'll do for that part of the video. Let me go and sit down somewhere and like wind this video down and finish it. Okay, so just to end this video then, what I'm gonna do is sit down on the park bench, which today isn't covered in water. Right, and also where I am right now, actually, it's an old Victorian walled garden. So it is flanked on 3 edges or 3 sides by a massive wall. Now, Mark Iffy, if you're watching this, I don't know if you might be able to hear some weird characteristics going on here. Like you did notice the other day that there was a weird change on a microphone. I normally get that when I walk on the other side of one of the big walls, especially with an Omni mic, because of the way it's picking up all the reflections off the wall and stuff. But nonetheless, there will be a lot of reflections going on here. In fact, you know what, give us a sec. So this test here is for Mark, by the way. Okay, so right, there's a wall directly behind here. So hold on, that might not be loud enough. Okay, so we can definitely hear the reflections coming back off the walls there. In fact, if I turn the mic around like this, we might get some weird phase issues as well going on, because don't forget, this is a shotgun mic as well, and it also has a very small interference tube, so this might actually be doing something weird as well. I don't know, but I will turn it around like this. Hopefully nobody's in the walled garden today going, who's that nut job who's like going, huh, 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 in the walled garden. Anyway, Mark, that was a quick test for you, mate, in case you watch this video. I will actually do something about phase and phase cancellation very soon. I've actually done a very interesting test as well. Just quickly, actually, I'll go into this just as a little vlog piece. Right, what it is, I always get like, you know, sorry, I always get really annoyed. I was going to start swearing then, but I'm trying not to swear in the video. I get really annoyed when I hear people going on about the audio on YouTube, and people go, oh yeah, well, you know, because YouTube compresses your audio and stuff like that. And then there's all those people who go on saying when your audio is like too loud, YouTube compresses your audio. Well, if people are talking about dynamics compression, no, that's not what goes on. And what it is, I've done a video test for myself, which has been something to prove how YouTube handles loud audio when it gets uploaded. And basically it does it by the way of reduction via metadata, right? So basically it's a volume control. It is not limiting or compressing or anything like that, or normalizing. Now that actual test is really extremely interesting, and the way that I kind of like proved it to myself was to actually use phase cancelled variants between the original audio and then the piece that I downloaded after YouTube had done its thing, and it was near enough 100% complete cancellation. So therefore proving that YouTube don't actually apply any dynamics processing to the audio. Now that might all sound a bit weird to talk about, because it might be hard to envisage, but what I will do is a video about that, because no one's ever done it before on YouTube to prove the point. So I will do it, and hopefully I'll be able to stick 2 fingers up to all those idiots and clowns who keep going on as if they know all about audio and they all know all about how YouTube works and all that stuff as far as its encoding is concerned. Anyways, yeah, so that should be enough anyway for this little sit down piece. And the reason why I'm doing the sit down piece is because some people just like to sit down and vlog. They're not all crazy tools like
me who go around walking in the park and spinning around in the middle of fields looking like a tool, you know, with all these other people walking by. I'm most certainly not someone who's going to start barking at a wall. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Now, I've got to keep asking these things and I keep forgetting. If you've liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel and get on that bell notification icon. Oh yeah, another quick thing here as well, sorry. Yeah, what I'm doing at the moment, I'm testing a couple of things here. What it is, I'm uploading the same type of video to my main channel, so I'm doing the same video twice, as it were. And what I'm doing, I'm going to alternate titles between my main channel and this channel. I want to see exactly what's going on with YouTube, because when you consider that my main channel has now got over 20,000 subscribers, I don't get anywhere near the types of views you think I should be getting with that amount of like subscribers compared to this channel. And I also want to know how well this channel is doing by using the same kind of keyworded titles as other videos do on YouTube, something that I will get into in another video further down the line. But nonetheless, anybody who's familiar with like this channel and my main channel, you will have noticed I will have done a couple of videos so far which are very similar, as in the same mic with the GoPro and stuff like that. That's the reason why. Plus also as well, being dead honest, and I've already said this before, because I do actually put videos up on Amazon and stuff like that, I do the watered down version on my main channel, and then that becomes the basis for me Amazon video as well, because you know I cannot put these videos that I do on this channel on Amazon. Can you imagine that? All those people getting freaked out, so I'm not going to buy that. I might sound like that idiot in Liverpool. I won't be doing that. Anyways, I'm getting off. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.